In this tribute video, we honor the American legends who have passed away today and in recent days. Welcome back to Movie Newscast. These remarkable individuals made lasting contributions to their fields, and we sadly say goodbye to them. Our heartfelt condolences go out to their families and fans. As we remember their legacies, we invite you to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up if their lives or work have touched you in any way. Your gesture is a sign of respect and remembrance. Ballerina Michaela DePrince, dead at 29, appeared on Dancing with the Stars, Brandi Carlile video. A ballerina who went from war-torn Sierra Leone to international dancing fame has died, according to a statement posted to her Instagram. A black and white pic of the star was posted to the account, with a long caption focused on Michaela's grace, purpose, and strength, adding she poured her efforts into both her dancing and her humanitarian efforts. Her team notes how she was only alive for a short time, but her legacy will continue to live on with all those who knew her. No cause of death was noted in the post. MMD was originally born in Sierra Leone and taken to an orphanage during a civil war in the country. After the orphanage was bombed, she fled to a refugee camp and was eventually adopted by a New Jersey couple. In recent years, Michaela wrote a memoir, Taking Flight, From War Orphan to Star Ballerina. She also wrote a children's book, Ballerina Dreams, to inspire the next generation of dancers. DePrince was 29. Rest in peace. Benji Gregory, ALF star's cause of death revealed. Heat exposure, cirrhosis. Ruled an accident by an Arizona medical examiner. According to the Maricopa County Office of the Medical Examiner, the former child star, best known for his time on the sitcom ALF, died from heat exposure in the setting of hepatic cirrhosis. Basically, the hot Arizona sun led to BG's death, but he also had scarring of the liver caused by long-term damage to the organ. It's not clear at this time what caused the cirrhosis. TMZ broke the story. Benji's sister, Rebecca, told us her brother was found dead in a car in a bank parking lot in Peoria, Arizona, back in June. We're told people close to BG believe he went to the bank to deposit residual checks when he fell asleep in his car and died. Benji was with his service dog, Hans, who also died. Benji was 46. Rest in peace. Tommy Cash dies. Country singer and Johnny Cash's brother was 84. Tommy Cash, a country singer and younger brother to Johnny Cash, has died at 84, as confirmed in a social media post by the Johnny Cash Museum in Nashville 10. We are saddened to announce that the world lost a bright light last evening with the passing of Tommy Cash. The establishment wrote on Instagram September 14. My wife Shannon and I lost a very, very dear friend last evening, continued CEO and founder Bill Miller of Cash. I knew him for over 50 years. Tommy Cash was a loyal supporter of the Johnny Cash Museum and a very beloved member of our extended family, as well as a highly respected member of the music industry. This great man will be deeply missed by his friends and many loyal fans around the world. Please keep Tommy's beloved wife, Marcy, and his family in your prayers. A cause of death was not given. Cash, who was 8 years younger than his brother, died a day following the 21st anniversary of Johnny's death on September 12, 2003. Cash first scored a record deal with label Musicor Records, a year later joining United Artists Records. Former Olympic silver medalist Steve Gregg dies at 68. Steve Gregg, an American swimmer and 1976 Olympic silver medalist, died Wednesday at the age of 68 in his home in Charleston, South Carolina. Born in Wilmington, Delaware, Gregg attended North Carolina State University, where he enjoyed an illustrious swimming career between 1973 and 1977. While swimming for the Wolfpack, Gregg was a 4-time All-American and 6-time Atlantic Coast Conference champion, becoming the first ACC athlete to win 4 consecutive championships in the same event, the 200 fly. He also received the H.C. Kennett Award, honoring him as NC State's most outstanding student athlete, and was named to the ACC 50th anniversary team. Greg made a splash on the international stage as well, bringing home a silver medal in the 200 fly from the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal. Aside from winning Olympic hardware, Greg medaled at a number of other major world events. He won silver in the 200 fly at two World Championships, 1973 and 1978, and the 1975 Pan American Games. Greg is survived by his wife Jennifer and their dog Birdie, as well as his siblings Donna and David, and his two nieces Kristen and Gretchen. Donations can be made in his name to the NC State Swimming and Diving Program. Mary McFadden, award-winning designer, art collector, and fashion icon, dies at 85. Mary McFadden, an award-winning designer, art collector, and fashion innovator, died Friday at her Southampton, NY home. She was 85. The cause was myeloma dysplasia, her brother, John McFadden, told the New York Times. Often dubbed the High Priestess of Fashion, McFadden drew inspiration from ancient cultures and civilizations for her work, which was a combination of two of her favorite things, fashion design and travel. Harold Koda, former curator-in-chief of the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, described her as a design archaeologist. Known for her easy-to-wear silhouettes, opulent beading, hand-painted silks, and her patented Marie pleated fabric, McFadden created sensual and modern pieces for women who were not afraid to forge their own path, according to a press release for a retrospective of her work currently on display at Drexel University in Philadelphia. In 1982, she became the first woman to head the Council of Fashion Designers of America, or CFDA, when she helped to implement concrete processes and marketing plans. The organization said in an online tribute, calling McFadden a true American fashion original. Trailblazer Lois Wilson dies, age 97. With great sadness, the United Church of Canada announces the death of the Very Reverend, the Honorable Dr. Lois M. Wilson, the denomination's 28th moderator and the first woman to fill the role. She faithfully served as moderator from 1979 to 1982. Reverend Wilson died in hospital in Fredericton, NB, on September 13, 2024. She was 97 years old. Her faith drove her actions, and she remained involved in the work of the church right to the end. I hardly ever had an original idea myself, but I would always respond to what the community called me to do, she told CBC's Scene Foley on Ideas in February 2024. None of them were my ideas, but I was able to respond to them because I saw that they were in continuity with what I understood as the purposes of God in the world. She is survived by 4 children, 12 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. Funeral arrangements were unavailable at the time of this release. Eric Anderson dies. Felicity, 30-something actor, was 67. Eric Anderson, a prolific television actor perhaps best known for his portrayal on Felicity as the title character's father, died of cancer June 1 in Los Angeles. He was 67. His death was announced on social media by wife and actor Saxon Traynor. In her post announcing Anderson's death, wife Traynor wrote that she was too bereft to write anything extensive, but shared the following statement from brother-in-law Michael O'Malley. My brother-in-law Eric Anderson passed this morning after a brutal struggle with cancer. He had a long, successful career as an actor. He was on that old show 30-something. He was Felicity's father on Felicity. He was killed in a basement in a Friday the 13th movie. He was on Star Trek and dozens of other shows. He was a smart and funny guy, a fantastic cook. He wrote 3 great novels which you can find on Amazon. I'll miss him, but his ordeal is over. Complete information on survivors was not immediately available. Longtime Senator Richard Dick Sears Jr. dies at 81. Senator Richard "Dick" Sears Jr. died at Albany Medical Center over the weekend, surrounded by family and longtime friends. According to a statement released by Senate President pro tempore Phil Baruth on Sunday, Sears was 81. Dick loved representing Bennington County and took great pride in that honor for the 32 years he served as state senator, added Senator Brian Campion in the statement. He was one of the most effective leaders in the Senate and will be sorely missed. Dick was also a dear friend, and I will always remember his sense of humor, sense of justice, and lifelong dedication to the service of others. He always knew his roots, and because of that, he understood the people he served. Bongartz reflected. He always kept that top of mind. Hank, the Milwaukee Brewers' beloved ballpark pup, has died. They say all dogs go to heaven. Then that's where Milwaukee Brewers legend Hank has gone. The beloved Hank, the ballpark pup, passed away earlier today, the Brewers shared in a news release Thursday night. The furry white dog was small, but made a major league impact on the ball club and its fan base. The tale goes, Hank was a scruffy stray, with a tire mark on his fur and an injured tail, who wandered up to the Brewers' spring training facility in Arizona back in February 2014. Cowboys Hall of Famer Larry Allen dies suddenly at age 52. Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame offensive lineman Larry Allen died suddenly Sunday while on vacation with his family in Mexico, the team announced Monday. He was 52. Larry, known for his great athleticism and incredible strength, was one of the most respected, accomplished offensive linemen to ever play in the NFL, the team said in a statement. His versatility and dependability were also signature parts of his career. Through that, he continued to serve as inspiration for many other players, defining what it meant to be a great teammate, competitor, and winner. Racing legend Parnelli Jones, the oldest living Indy 500 winner, dies at 90. Racing legend Parnelli Jones has, at the age of 90, sources have confirmed. Born in 1933 in Texarkana, Ark, Rufus Parnelli Jones was a legendary driver and team owner known for competing in many types of vehicles, including Indy cars. A representative of Borg Warner confirmed Jones' death Tuesday night. Jones won the 47th running of the Indianapolis 500 in 1963 and famously broke down while in the lead in 1967. During his time as a team owner, Parnelli won the 1970 and 1971 races with driver Al Unser. At the time of his death, Jones was the oldest living winner of the Indy 500. Rapper Enchanting's cause of death revealed after the Gucci Mane prodigy died at 26. Rapper Enchanting's cause of death has been revealed. The rising hip-hop artist, 26, died of toxic effects of oxycodone and benzodiazepines. A spokesperson for the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office confirms to People. Her manner of death is listed as accidental. Benzodiazepines are depressants that can relieve anxiety, and the most common are the prescription drugs Valium, Xanax, Halcion, Ativan, and Klonopin, according to the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. Her cause of death was first reported by TMZ. The ISA photoshoot musician reportedly died at a hospital after being taken off of life support. Gucci Mane confirmed the death of his former artist, whose real name was Channing Nickel Larry, via an Instagram post on Tuesday, June 11, writing alongside a photo of her, "So sad to have to say RIP to such a great young lady." In addition to dropping 6 full-length projects over the course of her career, Enchanting was also featured on HBO's Rap Chat Season 2 soundtrack, released last fall via Issa Rae's radio imprint. Angela Bofill, I Try singer, dead at 70. R&B singer Angela Bofill has died. She was 70 years old. On Friday, June 14, a rep for the performer, whose hits include This Time I'll Be Sweeter, I Try, and Angel of the Night, told People she died Thursday morning at her daughter's home in Valladolid, Calif. News of her death was also shared on the artist's personal Facebook account in 2 separate posts on Friday. Bofill began recording in her teens and released her first studio album, Angie, in 1978. She continued recording new albums into the 1990s. Some of her other hit singles include Something About You, I'm on Your Side, Let Me Be the One, and I Just Wanna Stop. Screamin' Scott Simon, longtime Sha Na Na keyboardist, dies of sinus cancer at 75. Simon co-wrote the song Sandy from Grease and famously appeared in the film with his bandmates. Screamin' Scott Simon, the dynamic keyboard player for rock and roll revivalists Sha Na Na for more than 50 years, has died. He was 75. Simon's daughter Nina, an author, announced his death on Instagram on September 5, paying tribute to her dad and his love for his family. My dad was a rock star, literally, a member of Sha Na Na for over 50 years. He loved early morning diners and late nights on stage, but loved his girls most of all, she wrote in an Instagram post. Screamin' Scott Simon, 1948 to 2024. Beloved husband, father, and grandfather, Bappa. She continued, Bappa often said the secret to life is tour management. I feel so grateful I got to be with him as he prepared for his final tour. It was too soon, but as always, he was right on time for the big show. I love you forever. Simon died in Ojai, Caliph of sinus cancer while in hospice care, the New York Times reported. The rocker and his bandmates were possibly best known for their appearance in the 1978 classic movie Grease, where they played Johnny Casino and the gamblers at Riddell High's school dance. The group sang 6 songs in the film, including Tears on My Pillow, and were nominated for a Grammy for the soundtrack. He is survived by daughters Nina and Morgan, as well as his wife Deborah, who he married in 2000, stepson Nick, 2 granddaughters, and 3 sisters. Evans dies. Bonnie and Clyde actor, widow of director John Frankenheimer, was 91. Evans, a character actor who'd made some minor forays into television when she was cast in what would become her most remembered role as a kidnapped victim in 1967's Bonnie and Clyde, died Sunday, June 16. She was 91. Additional details were not available. Her death was announced in a public obituary. Born in Bluefield, West Virginia on November 26, 1932, Evans was resident of Sherman Oaks, California, the widow of director John Frankenheimer. The two wed on December 13, 1963, and remained married until his death on July 6, 2002. After a string of single appearances on such 60s episodic TV programs as The Donna Reed Show, Wagon Train, Death Valley Days, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Evans was cast in what would become her signature role for 1967's Bonnie and Clyde. As Velma Davis, she and scene partner Gene Wilder, in his big screen debut, portrayed 2 young lovebirds who, while kissing on their front porch, noticed that a group of hoodlums is stealing Eugene's car. Evans appeared on Broadway 3 times in the late 1950s and early 1960s. First in 1957's The Dark at the Top of the Stairs, then A Distant Bell, 1960, and that same year, The 49th Cousin. Barry Manilow, born Barry Allen Pincus, to a single mom named Edna Manilow, rose to fame after his pop-rock ballad Mandy hit the charts. Since then, he was constantly under the spotlight, snatching the hearts of his millions of female-dominated fans. It was a shock to many that he suddenly revealed his 39-year relationship with a man, especially since he was once married to his high school sweetheart, Susan Dixler. Their relationship was once highly publicized, as fans enjoyed watching the singer's every move. Aside from music, Manilow's first love was Dixler. She was the prettiest girl in the class. He once described her lovingly, saying, "She was adorable, small with great legs and a voluptuous figure, jet black hair, dark brown eyes, and a smile that lit up the room." Dixler ended up liking Manilow back, and when he was 21 and she was 19, they exchanged vows before a judge in 1964 before repeating the ceremony with a rabbi after her family insisted. Unfortunately, their union didn't last long, and the pair separated 2 years later. Manilow admitted that the wedding was rushed, and while he was in love with Dixler, he was simply not ready for a lifelong commitment like marriage. According to the pop rock superstar, he was preoccupied with making music that it didn't take long for his relationship with Dixler to deteriorate. He said, "I was out making music every night, sowing my wild oats. I was too young. I wasn't ready to settle down." Although it came at the expense of his marriage falling apart, Manilow pouring his heart and soul into music eventually started to pay off. He skyrocketed to fame, beginning with the hit ballad Mandy, before releasing classic hits like Copacabana, At the Copa, Can't Smile Without You, and Looks Like We Made It. Only 4 years after Mandy hit the charts, his fame allowed him to meet Gary Keefe, a TV executive that would end up being the love of his life. While Manilow maintains he was not struggling with his sexuality when he separated from Dixler, he would come to terms with the fact that the person he was in love with was a man. While Manilow found the one, he had to keep his sexuality and same-sex relationship private at the time to stay away from controversies and tabloid headlines. He didn't open up, saying it was very difficult to do that back then, to have a conversation like we're having, because it would have resulted in a very negative article. Soon after meeting Keefe, the TV executive became Manilow's manager, which is a role he has until today. He is also the president of Barry Manilow Productions, and for a good reason. According to Manilow, Keefe is the smartest person I've ever met in my life, and a great guy too. Some might think Keefe hit it big when he met Manilow in 1978, but the singer insists it's actually him who hit the jackpot. He knew he finally met the one, which holds true until today. "I knew that this was it. I was one of the lucky ones. I was pretty lonely before that," he gushed. Manilow and Keefe have been happy to be by each other's side for more than 4 decades now, but it wasn't always easy for the couple. They had to keep their relationship and Manilow's sexuality a secret because fans were becoming aggressive and would show their displeasure. Early in their relationship, Keefe attended one of Manilow's concerts and got into the car with him. Fans ended up rocking the vehicle, and Keefe admitted then and there that he couldn't handle it. In the end, Manilow was glad he stayed. Since the harrowing situation, Manilow ultimately decided to stay mum about his sexuality in fear of disappointing his fans. Manilow's goal had always been to give them work that they could be proud of and be proud of him as a human being. Although most of the time, no one would point out that Keefe and Manilow would eat dinner in public together, there was once one interviewer who asked about his sexuality. He lied simply because he had to. However, the singer admitted that he would have proudly answered honestly if someone were to ask him again. There's no need for Manilow and Keefe to hide any longer, as they've been happily married since 2014. However, the singer admitted at the time that he was still hesitant to discuss their relationship with the press and to come out publicly even after their wedding. Manilow and Keefe wed in a secret ceremony at their Palm Springs estate in April 2014, surrounded by their closest family and friends. A year after, news finally broke out about their wedding and Manilow's sexuality. Admittedly, the superstar calls it a blessing and a curse. He had always been considerate of his fans, thinking he would be disappointing them if they knew the truth about his sexuality.